first game, India playing the Netherlands. Now, India coming off that spectacular win against Pakistan, high on confidence, and even after they reached Sydney, Zach, there was an optional practice, and yet all the top guns attended that practice. Be it Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, everyone was out there, and you can just see this intensity in the team. And that's something that you said as well. Sometimes wins like these can really spur you on.
Exactly. And I think the tone for the tournament is set. So everyone is eager to go back to the drawing board. Whatever learnings you have from the game, you want to just take it forward, iron them out in a most strategic manner, as you can see, make use of the time as well. So that's something which is a good sign. The keenness is very important. So even though you have an optional session, you want to go out there, work on your game. Whatever fine tuning is required, you don't want to miss on that opportunity. So I think that's the case with everyone. And yeah, the tone for the tournament as far as Indian team is concerned is set very nicely.
Now they play against the Netherlands, Michael, and Paras Mamre in the press conference leading up to this game said, while there were conjectures around perhaps Hardik Pandya being rested, he said, no, we're not resting him. Everyone's getting in there. Of course, there may be changes, but there's no change with regard to Hardik Pandya. But if you have a look at that Indian squad and the Indian playing 11 that played in the last game, SCG we saw offered some sort of spin. Would you perhaps bring in a Chahal, or do you still go in with the same 11 because it worked really well for Team India?
I think it's, you look at the conditions, potentially you could bring in another spinner. I want to see Rishabh Pant in the side. I'm trying to work out how to get him in, but I just want to see a left-hander in there for India. I just think that innings that Virat played against Pakistan at the MCG, Zach will tell you the same, it galvanises a group. When you see your star player in that form playing the pressure card and playing such an extraordinary innings, you get on the plane from Melbourne to Sydney and you all feel taller, you all feel a little bit bigger. No surprise that everyone went to practice. You get inspired by individuals. All right, it's a team game, and we always talk about the collective and playing as a team, but as a group, you do get inspired by individuals, and I'm intrigued to know how much that innings that Virat has played is going to inspire India to go on and play even better, because I didn't think they played a great game. I thought they were okay. Virat was exceptional. Hardik played nicely, but India have got so much scope as a collective to improve. They can get much better as a group. When you win a game pretty much by an individual, you don't highlight some of the mistakes or the problems within the side because that individual's got you over the line. But it's how much that individual's performance, particularly Virat Kohli. I can only imagine being in that Indian side, and when you can see Virat in confident mood and in the kind of mindset that we've seen him previously, if he can consistently produce that, individuals like Virat can win World Cups on their own. We've seen it in the history of sport that one individual, they have these incredible moments where they can just drag everyone else with them. So I'm intrigued. I'm not too interested in the 11. I'd love to see Rishabh in there, but I'm more intrigued of how much the mindset of Virat can really transcend into the rest of the team going in, not till tomorrow's game, because I think it'd be quite straightforward, but going down the line against the bigger teams, the semi-finals, I'm sure India are going to make it there. It might be that this is a tournament that we keep going back to that innings. I'm sure we'll talk about that innings for many, many years, but it might be more so towards the back end of how much it's done for the rest of the players in the Indian side.
That's really interesting, because the moment Michael said that, it just kept bringing to mind all the post-game interviews, all the post-game chatter around Team India, Zach. And that's one really interesting thing. He's right. The aura around the Indian team just seems so different just after that one win. And he's right in saying that Indian team didn't really play up to potential, and this might be just a good opportunity for them to iron out those wrinkles against the Netherlands.
Absolutely. 70% of the game, Pakistan was in with a great chance to win that match, and to win it from there certainly brings out that energy for sure, and also gives you that much time, and that's why you've seen the whole squad going for practice, even though it was optional practice. You want to go out there, make sure that you are ready. Whatever you could not do in the previous game, whatever that needs a little bit of work, you want to utilize that time, and close games like these, they really bring out that belief as well in you, that you can do it, even though you're not playing good cricket. Because everyone knows when you're not really had the best of the games, but you still manage to win the game, that that there is some work to be done, and winning just gives you that added cushion to carry on with the positive energy forward. So I think that's where the Indian team stands, and the influence of Virat's innings will be shown in the tournament. So that is something which everyone is expecting. The energy, like you rightly said, around the team is looking different now. It has World Cup, especially a tournament like World Cup. You always see that that momentum really matters. If, even though that word is used on too many occasions, that momentum really matters. And when you're talking about momentum, these are the things you're talking about. If you had these sort of close games, that just brings about that added belief for you to go the distance. And I think now playing against Netherlands, you can consolidate on those kind of things. So that's what we are expecting from Indian team now in the match from tomorrow.
Would you see any changes? If you have a look at that squad again, and let's pull it up again for you, would you like to see any changes, or is this just fine now that you've zeroed in on a playing 11, play them until the conditions really demand a change?
I don't think there will be any change for sure, unless there is some forced change of injury. I don't think they will move away from the processes and the planning which they've been talking about. They've been very clear in terms of saying which are their guys who they're going to back, which are the players are going to get the long rope, which are the players they believe in. Dinesh Karthik is someone who has been brought into the squad just to play that crucial role of a finisher. So you have shown everyone, you've told everyone that this is the plan, and we are believing in that player. So you will back that player. Even though Rishabh Pant option is always going to be tempting, isn't it?
Very tempting.
You'll always feel that he's sitting outside, but the planning of the team management, you got to trust and you got to back that. So that's something which will be seen. Chahal is another option which will be always up for debate. It will all depend on the conditions and the tactical call. Ashwin predominantly has been a tactical call for this Indian team. So they will weigh in their pros and cons and whatever tactics they plan for a particular position. Knowing that they're playing Netherlands, I think they will be sticking to the same playing 11.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Netherlands squad as well. Now, Netherlands, who've qualified from round 1 into Super 12, in their first encounter versus Bangladesh, well, surprised everyone, lost only by 9 runs, and they'll be wondering if not for those runouts of Max O'Dowd and Tom Cooper, the story could have been completely different, and Ireland wouldn't have hogged all the limelight for an upset. But it is what it is. But Michael, when you look at this Netherlands squad, this is a big opportunity, and we always talk of the experiences that these teams need, the associate teams, if they have to really compete at the big stage, have to play against the big teams. And this is a big opportunity for them to just experience what playing a major team feels like.
Yeah, it's a great platform. I mean, of all the teams that you want to play, I mean, you're playing in the World Cup, so you're getting great profile from that. But to play against India and the profile that would bring, Tom Cooper performance, Freddie Klassen, Colin Ackerman in the last game was excellent. You just needed 1 or 2 more to support him in the chase. I thought they were excellent with the ball against Bangladesh, the Netherlands. I thought they were skillful, clever, smart. And I think a lot of the associate teams, I think they think, and they have all the same data information as all the top teams, and you can see they're all working very professionally. They just don't have as much depth. They have 1 or 2 really quality players, and then there's a bit of a lag in terms of quality, but in terms of the professionalism, the way that they're approaching the tactical side, all pretty much wanting left arms, you wanting spinners that can take it either way, having variation in the batting units. All the associate teams have very similar to the top teams, they just don't have the quality. But tomorrow's a huge game for these guys. To think that they're playing India at the SCG, huge crowd in a World Cup, being watched by millions around the world. What a great platform for 1 or 2 of those individuals to do something special, or collectively pull off what would be a huge shock